All right, welcome team. Here we have post Torian Pro and a couple other semifinals debrief. So we're talking about the Kiwis that have made it to the CrossFit Games this year. So this is going to be kind of overall recap of Torian Pro, kind of where the Kiwis finished out, some key performances, some standout performances, and then kind of just celebrating those ones that have made it, done such an epic job. So as you can see, we're starting with the men's field, probably the most exciting field for us Kiwis to be watching, especially with young lad Bailey in there. But we are going to go down to the bottom and then work our way up and talk about the kind of key performances that we saw with the Kiwis this weekend, or this past weekend. So cruising on down, we're going to stop at 20th place because that's as low as we're going to be going, baby, out of how many? 38. Guys, we stayed within the top 20, which is absolutely wicked, which means all our Kiwi competitors were at least 35% of the top 20, which is insane to think about, that the caliber of athletes now that we're producing is keeping up, if not beating, majority of the field. So well done us. But first, Kia, 19th place. This is sorry, dog's just wanting to jump up. This was actually a pretty standout performance from the young man, especially with his first debut into international competition. I think he did really well. I think he should be super proud of how he performed and what he did. So we look at his performance journey. Started off really strong, took a couple of hits throughout the middle of the competition, came back strong in the end, and then finished off really well overall. So I think he should be super proud of his efforts. Everybody that kind of surrounded himself and supported him obviously showed up and got him through. But, he had a good performance in that run workout, which was really cool. Super fit guy. And then, just kind of stayed around, hung around that top 20 throughout the weekend. So really well done, Kia. Awesome to see. And we awesome to see where you go from here and what your next stage of the journey is. Well done, mate. Going up from there, we find ourselves looking at Thor and Dante. So Thor 13th, Dante 12th. So two very opposite athletes right there, which is quite funny to see. So we know Thor is a little bit smaller, probably more of a fitness gymnastics kind of guy, and that probably shows with the events, with the run having 19th, the snatch ladder, probably not his best event. And then kind of coming back through with these kind of more gymnastics heavy events, which is really cool. But he's a staple in the kind of Torian Pro floor now, representing his gym, the Village Athletica. So well done, mate. Next, Dante. He's been over in Australia now for a year. He's been working hard with the people around him, his performance journey. And as you can see, as we talked about, probably total opposite athlete to Thor there. Run, probably not his strongest finish, but then came back in the snatch ladder. 6th, 22nd in event 3, 2nd in event 4, which was, what was event 4? Can't remember off the top of my head, but I will find out. And then a couple of lower place finishes with those two gymnastics workouts back to back. And it's finished the final 7th, which is a good workout for him as well. So again, first year over the ditch. I think with a few more years there, it'll be interesting to see what he can do, especially now teaming up with the likes of Jake Douglas, Jake Marconi, and that kind of HWO performance team, with being in EXF as well. So awesome performance there, Dante. Well done. Sorry, dog's just come on. Come on. There you go. All right, say hi. All right, next, I'm going to look at Stephen Machuski, top 10. He's cracked it. Well done, mate. Let's look at your performance journey. Started off strong with that run. Is a good runner. 36 in the snatch workout. He finished it, which was epic. Awesome to see him hit that lift. So I think he's done a super good job there. And then he stayed super consistent from there on out. So it was only going to get better for him. So really cool to see. He kind of hung around that, after that snatch, he hung around that top 20, 15, and then finished off super strong. And then at last event, he just needed to move and get it done. So well done, mate. Awesome to see. And again, this is his second year individual. So I think with another couple of years in that kind of environment and at that level, he can really push and make himself a staple of that top 10. Well done, Stephen. Hickle, 9th place, another Kiwi in the top 10. He had an event win, which is so cool. Such a fun event to watch as well, between him and Bailey. And it was cool that it was two Kiwis out in front the whole time. So that was awesome to see. And you can see his performance after the run and after stats, he stayed pretty consistent around that kind of top 15, top 10 area. And that got him a good, consistent result in their ninth. From here, we go up. Thank you, Rusty. Up the leaderboard, and we find ourselves Riley Martin, 5th place. What a finish for the young man. I think he should be super proud of his finish here. Apart from the run, he had a really consistent weekend. Looking at his run, he finished, 26th. He had a 5th in the snatch, which I'm sure if he was in the top heat, he probably would have pushed a little bit harder, faster, and kept up with his brother Enrico. And he had a 4th. Says to work up there, heavy hand, and then he dropped down 1 for the money, 2 for the show with the 2 gymnastics workouts. Probably not as good a workouts for him, but still staying in the top 10 for those 2 workouts is pretty phenomenal. Hitting a 4th in King after 2, and then an 8th place in the final workout. We know that deadlifts are probably Riley's nemesis as well. So for him to get a top 10 finish there is super incredible. But I think he is on the right track. He's trending upward. It's just the running, and he probably knows that. He probably needs to lock in a little bit more on running. But he probably is. But yeah, if he can come back and show everybody that he's not just a strong boy, I think he's got a good shot at taking one of those games tickets away from the top 3. Then we move on. Bailey Martin. He did it. He overcome the adversity of having to put up with Justin Medeiros and everybody else in the world saying that he's not making it, Justin's making it. I think he really took it to Justin and the rest of the field and showed why he is a games athlete. And I think he just showed why he wants it so much. And I think that was the difference between him and Justin. He had a lot more to prove, a lot more to come back from. Kind of said, I think he said in maybe the Savant interview, it went from last place last year, last place, he withdrew to 3rd this year. I think that's a pretty crazy glow up. And so he said what he's going to do. And I rate it so much. So well done, mate. And then you see his performance journey, a bit more of a wave, but taking a smaller sample field. So apart from the run, stayed in the top 10 the whole time, which is, that's bloody awesome. And that's what he needed to do. So 15th on the run, 2nd, 8th, 1st, 6th, 2nd, 5th. I think it's 2 back-to-back workouts, 1 for money, 2 for the show. That was a pretty phenomenal performance. We saw much more of a drop-off between athletes with this one, or not taking risk as much here, and then probably playing it safe there, so it's more average, but he really sent it on this one. Probably paid the price a little bit, but still had a great performance. And then King after the 2nd, took 2nd place in the original one, 2nd place here again today, well, 2nd place this weekend. And then finishing off 5th with the final. Well done. So big congratulations, Bailey, making it back. Epic to see you out the floor again and fighting fit. So that was really fun to watch. Right, throwing over to the female side, going to go down the leaderboard, talk about a few names down here. Maddie Jarvis, it was an international debut. I think she did herself really proud, and all of her training partners around her really proud as well. I think she hung in it to the end, and she really made the most of the time on the floor. And then you can see there her highest finish being 17th on King Arthur. I think she won her heat with that one, so it was really cool that she got her kind of moment in the spotlight. I think she'll remember that forever. So that's really cool. Well done, Maddie. Then we go up to Sarah. Sarah had a fairly decent weekend, I'd say. Had some really cool highlights with the run and on 2 for the show. And then probably just had a dip here. Again, another rookie in the field from New Zealand. And I think, again, seeing the amount of Kiwis that are on the floor is super impressive. And again, just like Maddie, I think she'll cherish this experience and probably lit a little fire under her to go again and keep pushing. So I'm sure we'll see more of her in the future. Working out the board, Gemma Ellis, this is her 2nd year at Torian Pro. Looking at her performance journey overall, stayed fairly consistent around this kind of area, peaked with 1 for the money, and then again backed it up with 2 for the show. 7th on King Arthur, which is a sick score to have on such a hard workout. And we're seeing quite a few of our Kiwis posting really good scores in King Arthur the 2nd, so that's really awesome to see. And 29th on the deadlift workout, the final one there. So well done, Gemma. Will we see her on the floor again? I hope so. She's awesome to watch and awesome to root for and get behind. So good work. Coming up from there, we're going to see Gabby. Gabby's been over in Australia for the last couple of years, I think, training out Dingus, which was where Ella Price is and Gracie. So she's got a few good training partners around her there. Looking at her performance run, 25th, 7th in the snatch ladder, and she's still super young, but she is ridiculously strong. So can only expect this score here to get better over time. 17th in heavy hand, a 9th in a gymnastics workout, which is wicked to see. And then probably contrast that to the show, not as good there. 27th in King Arthur, and then a 9th place finish in that deadlift workout. So again, very young. I think this is her second year at Torian. Could be wrong there. But again, this is a very good showing from Gabby. And again, being so young, I think she's got years in the game if she wants it. And I think she'll do really well. Right, moving up from there, talking about Danny Ford. Danny Ford, one of the Kiwis, training out of Sore Performance in Auckland. Such a bubbly girl on the competition floor. It's awesome to see her smiling up there and having fun and doing what she does best. 17th in the run, 31st in the snatch. Then she came back, a good 8th place finish on the heavy hand. Pretty sure she was a standout in her heat. And then she says fairly consistent trajectory upward on the last 4 workouts. So that was really cool to see. So building momentum as the weekend got on is a really cool thing to see for her. So well done, Danny. Definitely back from that back injury, and hopefully we see you again soon. Marnie, 1 place ahead of Danny there. And again, probably very similar athlete archetypes, but very different trajectory on her kind of weekend as she went on. Start off with a very good finish on the run, 7th place. Not as good on the snatch workout, but then a couple really consistent workouts up on Saturday, and then Sunday just kind of falling behind. And as the workouts got a little bit heavier, looking at her snatch workout probably makes a bit of sense, but I think she should hold her head high. 10th place finish. And again, I think there's more to see from Marnie. I think she's got more in the tank if she chooses to take the opportunity. Steph Collins was a underdog, I think, and I think she found her place within the top 5 she can definitely be a part of. She just had a couple small mistakes and probably held her back. So again, looking at her performance journey, solid run, solid finish of the snatches. She had a good heavy hand. She won 1 for the money, and then 2 for the show. Did she push maybe too hard and flew close to the sun there? Who knows? And then a 9th place on King Arthur, and then a 5th. So the only real score that kind of let her down was at event 5. I'm sure she knows that, but I think in terms of doing Kiwis proud, I think she did it, and she really kind of pushed her name into the paperwork there and got talked about the right amount, I think. So Ella Price, 6th place overall. I think at one point she was vying for a top 3 position, which was super cool. And we talked about her training partners being at Dingus Athletic. And again, we kind of see this really consistent work through the middle, or for the start here, 10th, 9th, 7th. So good kind of upward trajectory there. 17th on 1 for the money, which was that was the row, the kettlebell snatch and a handstand walk. So not a bad finish there, considering it doesn't go lower than that. So she should be happy with that. And then, but she backed it up with the 2 for the show, which was the pistols, the toter bar, and was that handstand walking? This one's a lunge. Sorry, my bad. This was handstand walking. That's right. Makes more sense. Second there, 16th on King After 2. I didn't take notes on what happened to her there, or maybe it just wasn't her workout. And then a 7th here on the final workout, which is really cool. So again, quite a heavy workout for, I wouldn't say what your class is, your strength athlete. She is more of a gymnast athlete for sure. So the fact that she is hitting these 9th place, 7th place on heavy workouts is really good. So I think she's still got a whole lot of room to grow over in Australia now, again, surrounded by those people that are going to be pushing her. So again, only more to come from Ella. Well, and in terms of our Kiwis, that rounds out the female side. So for all of our individual competitors, a huge congratulations on getting there. For one, I was thinking about this on the weekend. It was one of the old CrossFit documentaries. I think of Sean Williams saying, like, you don't know how how good you have to be just to suck at the CrossFit Games. But I think now this can be said at the regional level. You don't know how good you actually have to be just to suck at Torian Pro. I think that just kind of speaks volumes about all the athletes on the leaderboard. You have to be so good just to get there. And then even to perform, you have to be even better. So honestly, if you see any of the athletes pop up, or if you see any of them in your gym, give them a huge well done. Send them a message on social media. They'll appreciate it. Honestly, yeah, such a good job. Right. Let's move over to our teams. So we'll go down the leaderboard. Won't start at the top. Daily grind coming in at 38th place performance journey. These guys are a bit of a smaller team. So really good finish in event 19, which was very much team centric. I think these guys have really good team chemistry. So I think that was a really good event for them. Clean ladder, 35th place. Again, being a small team, probably not their strongest event. Regional, no, that wasn't. Oh, it was male and then female. So 35th for the guys, 31st for the girls. So very similar scoring. So again, it just kind of shows where they are as a team. Heavy hand, 39th. Again, is a heavier workout for them. 26 on One for the Money and King Arthur 2. So again, probably more of a gymnastics workout there, which is where they kind of show up a bit more. King Arthur 2, 39th, and then 31st there. So a lot of work to be done for Daily Grind in terms of their lifting ability. So they are a small team, graded with the gymnastics, but there is some strength to be gained there. But that being said, was a 19th finish on. Probably wouldn't call it a heavy deadlift, as more of a communication and teamwork there. But well done, guys. Renegade CrossFit East Tamaki. I completely missed these guys because of the French flag, but then I realized why. That's us. So looking at their finishes, probably the opposite to Daily Grind in terms of their performance journey. And what can we see? They have a 36th place finish on that first one. The men, 29th. The ladies got 19th. So they had some really strong females. Males probably have a little bit of work to do on their even muscle-ups or cleans. Not quite sure. Heavy hand, 24th. 38th, One for the Money. 31st on King Arthur 2nd. And then 36 on the final workout there. Teammates. Christine Drew, she's a weapon. Sorry, I'm not actually quite sure on most of these guys. I didn't do my research enough, but well done, guys. Hopefully see Renegade back at Torian next year as well. Then we scroll up the leaderboard a little bit more. And first one is Carbon Method. Now, I think these guys actually had a phenomenal weekend looking at their performance journey, starting with 17th on that first workout, the running deadlifts. Men at 30th on their cleans, females at 39th. And then from there, it was just kind of upward and onward once they kind of got the heavier stuff out of the way, the isolated tests. Even King Arthur, I think they really kind of centered on the worm there. That was a disgusting workout. And then finishing off with an 18th for the final workout. Well done, guys. I think you guys kind of embedded yourself within that top 30, and you're consistently around that kind of, if we look, maybe let's just say 30th to 15th place with that standout with the 13th finish on that workout, which is really cool. Righty, well done. Up the leaderboard we go, and then we find CrossFit 3216 sitting in 17th place. I think these guys had a really strong showing on a few workouts. The first one in King Arthur, maybe not King Arthur, my bad. Definitely the first one though, taking a 4th place, and I think their communication was down pack. I think they had a really good team spirit on that, and I think they were all very cohesive with each other. Boys 38th on their muscle-up cleans. Ladies 15th. And they had 10th place finish on heavy hand, and then a 34th One for the Money, 35th on King Arthur. So probably Sunday started off a bit slow, and then they came back in the final workout with an 11th place finish. That was really good. Well done, CrossFit 3216, and I think we will see these guys again there next year as well. So awesome to see. Saw Performance sitting just above them in 16th place. Performance Journey. You can see the first one, probably not their favorite event, but from there, they were consistently up there in the top 20, which is wicked to see. So 16th, 21st, 12th, 20th, 12th, 11th. So that was a really cool kind of consistency. journey. And again, if they didn't have that 40th place on that workout, which is really low, what happened there? I think they would have been a staple with inside that probably top 15, top 10 maybe if they had had a better event there, but it is what it is. And again, I think this is their first entrance into Torian Pro, and I don't think it's going to be their last one either. So, well done, guys. Brown Pride sitting just above them, 17th, 16th, and 15th place. Top 5 finishes, they got 5th in the final workout, which is really cool. And again, similar to Saw Performance, maybe just kind of flipped the first 2 workouts around. They had a really strong finish in that first one. Men probably not as strong on the cleans. Ladies looking a little bit better, but then from there it was just onwards and upwards. And as they got through the weekend, probably found their rhythm, probably got those nerves and jitters out, and probably started working as a team again, and really kind of pushed towards the finish line. Well done, guys, from Brown Pride. Alrighty, keep going up. CrossFit Mecca, 7th place. This is such an underrated finish from these guys. I'm sure their gym and community around them and has said how proud they are, but again, this is such a good performance. These guys did so well, staying inside the top 20 the whole weekend, 13th, 12th, 18th, probably the only workout that probably could have gone better. Well, I don't know, came down the girls and the cleans, right? And I think we saw Livy just hit like a slow motion clean there. The fact that she got it is such an impressive job. So maybe this was their best performance they could have had. And then from there, they knew they kind of had to come back 13th, 10th, 6th, 6th. So that was such an epic way to finish out the competition. And again, they stayed within the top 20 the whole way through. If they kind of had a better score here, maybe they would have finished a bit higher. But honestly, such a good job from these guys. And I think that was such an underrated performance. So well done across the Mecca. Like, last gym that we get to talk about is Kia Maia Mahi Dogs. Now, these guys, they had one goal, they had one task, and they achieved it. They said what they're going to do. They're going to stay in the top 5 the whole time, and they're going to punch their ticket to the CrossFit Games, which they've done. So I think getting that first kind of competition done and out of the way on a bigger stage, they were at New Zealand CrossFit Champs last year, where they cleaned out. So I think that was a good kind of introduction to them as a team. And then this was their kind of cementing themselves in the CrossFit space, in Oceania, in Torian Pro, and going to the games and representing us as a nation over there this year. 2nd in the first event, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 1st, and then 3rd. I think they really worked hard to deserve this. And I think you can probably see this with most Kiwi teams on the worm. Very well disciplined, very well coordinated and constructed with how we move and how we operate on a worm. So that was really cool to see and really fun to watch. And you can see that Emily was riled up on that last set of squats to get the boys, the girls, mitts over the line and win the workout. And they had it tied up there. And again, the other performances, it was the top 3 teams that kind of were there the whole weekend, and they stayed within the fight the whole way. They didn't let up no matter what. So huge pats on the backs to these guys. If they're doing a supporter shirt, guys, get behind them, help fund their way to the CrossFit Games. Again, they are representing us as a country and as a CrossFit community from New Zealand. So support them any means necessary. Supporter shirts, raffles, whatever they're doing, get behind it. These guys are going to be our Kiwis there, representing us as a community. Righty. Now we get to talk about one more person. I'll see if I can add it to the stage. So at the same time as Torian Pro was going on, there's also another semi-final happening over in South Africa. And what we can talk about from South Africa, just sort my tabs out, is one guy from New Zealand that has moved abroad to better his training. And what we can talk about is Ben Fowler. Ben Fowler has made it to the CrossFit Games out of the South African or Rebel Renegade Games. So Ben, smart decision to go to South Africa and punch his ticket there. Only one person went. I wasn't really following along with the competition, but I had a lot of faith in Ben making it. So 6 Kiwis currently heading into the individual and team competition at CrossFit Games. It's going to be such a good time watching our Kiwis over there. So again, if anybody, Bailey, Ben, the team, Kia Maia, are doing any supporters do any fundraising to help them get there, please, guys, do jump on board. It's only going to help us show up on the world stage a little bit more, and really kind of help us get behind our Kiwis over there. But well done to our 6 athletes that are heading off to CrossFit Games. We'll do a little bit more coverage on these guys when more comes out, talk about the workouts when they come out. But other than that, hope you guys have a fantastic weekend day. I'll be on here for another video sometime soon. If you do have any questions, queries, comments, chuck them down below. If you want to see any more videos like this, or you want to start talking about New Zealand Nationals stuff and what to expect, or even the NZ Champs, let me know. We can talk about it. Alrighty, guys. Catch ya. Bye.